We know that the cabinet that he's appointing now, nominating, is exactly what he said he would do. It's all billionaires. Last count, Tom, I looked, 10 billionaires that have been nominated for his cabinet so far, and the collective worth is about 350 billion with a B dollars. Just for context, Joe Biden's cabinet, which I thought was pretty wealthy in its own right, was 118 million collectively.
And so 1/10 of a billion.
That's right. And so I think that, here's the thing. He ran on a platform that somehow he was going to lift up working people and poor people. I don't know how you do that if you are actually appointing to those positions, nominating to those positions, people who have rigged the system to make it work for them, and now are supposed to be in charge of actually creating a government that works for everyone. So I think on every level, from constitution, democracy, the xenophobia, the hatred, what you were just talking about with the pardons, very important, just the extremism, the fascism, the nationalism that is going to come at us is very, very is going to require a lot from us in terms of rebuilding the Democratic Party so that we really speak to people and they can hear us in terms of what we're going to do to unrig the system and how we're going to fight for them. So it's going to be a rough couple, several years here. And I think we're all trying to get ourselves ready for that fight.
I'm curious, your postmortem is probably the wrong word, but your analysis of why, not so much why Trump won as why Joe Biden lost. I'll share mine with you real quickly. We have Biden had 12% GDP growth during his presidency, 16 million jobs created, lowest unemployment rate in 50 years, incomes up over $4,000. 20 million new businesses, $1 trillion in private manufacturing and clean energy investments. But what Biden didn't do, and I don't know if it's that he just thought people knew or thought that he still lived in 1970 when the media, told people what was going on. What he didn't do is go out in front of the White House, 3-4 days a week, like Donald Trump did 7 days a week, and brag about his accomplishments, and neither did Pramila Jayapal. The polling shows that 57% of Americans, 86 or 87% of Republicans believed we were in a recession when they went to vote. And whenever the country's in a recession, the incumbent party always loses. It's just predictable. So between that and Elon Musk dropping $270 million in just carpet bombing, swing states with lies about, and literally lies, about Trump's abortion position and whatnot, with his Ruth Bader Ginsburg pack, it seems that we were just massively out-messaged. I'm curious your thoughts on my thoughts and also, what you think happened.
Yeah, look, I think that there are threads here. I think that we didn't I think Biden certainly didn't use the power of his platform to the bully pulpit of the White House to brag enough. And I think that's probably true for everybody, though I felt like I was bragging all the time about everything that we were getting done. But you got to do it in the places that people listen. And look, the communications ecosystem has changed completely. And the right wing has created their own ecosystem to reach people. And I think that when you have, a country where there is no presumption of truth, even in established media, and people can just go out, billionaires can go out and create their own ecosystems, it makes it extremely difficult. We've got to do the same on our side and find the places to communicate where people are actually listening. That's certainly one. Two, I think that we were engaged in a big proposition, Tom, and that was to change even democratic neoliberal economic thinking and modeling and policy to bottom-up, middle-out policy. But let's not forget that this, I think, is a relatively new proposition that Biden certainly stuck to, that we all pushed for. But there was 30 to 50 years before that of loss of gains, of economic gains for workers. Yep. When you have, the minimum wage stagnating over 50 years and all of the productivity in the economy being created workers, but going to the top 1%, people people were in a really tough place. And you're not changing that overnight. But certainly we had big gains, we had big things that we did, but people were still angry and frustrated by their particular situation. And that leads me to the third one, which is I spent a lot of time trying to figure out why that list of accomplishments that you put out there did not make it to people's doors, not just being communicated, but why didn't people feel it? Why did they feel like they were worse off than they were 4 years ago? And what I realized, Tom, is that we were so effective at using the power of the federal government at the end of the Trump administration during COVID, when we passed those survival checks, and the beginning of the Biden administration, when we passed the American Rescue Plan, the child tax credit, we passed, housing assistance, we passed enormous assistance to state and local governments that distributed it in the form of subsidies for public transit, for utility bills. We had housing protections. We had rental assistance. We had eviction assistance to prevent evictions. And all of that, when Republicans took over again in the House, went away. It all went away. And I remember at the beginning of the Biden term, about 6 months in, there were economic reports that said that people had more in their savings account than they had ever had. They were able to think about going to a movie. They were able to think about doing, a vacation with their kids, or maybe buying clothes that they couldn't afford to buy for their kids, to have a new outfit for school, whatever it was. And that went away, but that was created by our investments, by our rejection of neoliberal economic trickle-down thinking, to saying, no, the government actually has to intervene and help, particularly in these big situations, big recessions. We did that, and then it stopped.
Yeah.
And so tangibly, people were worse off, but they weren't able to distinguish, and we didn't make the case, I don't think, that it was Republicans who stopped those things from continuing.
Exactly. I've also,
that is, I think.
Yeah, I've also thought for a long time that if the Biden administration had simply referred to inflation as the Trump tax cut inflation or the Trump tariff inflation every time they used the word inflation for 4 years, that the election would have gone a different way. That Kamala Harris would be our president right now.
Tom, I have to say one other thing. I think the election would have gone a different way if what we did in the Progressive Caucus, when we passed Build Back Better with housing and childcare as two critical pieces,
is the Thom Hartmann Program.
Cinema Mansion hadn't stopped it, we would have also won, because those are the biggest inflation
costs. We're hitting the break here. We'll be right back with Pramila Jayapal taking your calls. Representative Pramila Jayapal.